Get ready with me. Happy Monday. What up? Welcome. How's it going? What is going on? Happy Monday. Just trying to roll out these imperfections. Nice. What are you having for lunch? Boss Boy invites you to co-host. Declined. Chicken teriyaki, that sounds great. Nice and health and wellness. Health and wellness. I gotta put my eyelashes on. Health and wellness. Chicken teriyaki. That is just a solid meal. It really is. What else is going on, guys? What's new? What is brand new? This morning I went on a 3-mile run. And don't get it twisted, it wasn't like a fast run. It was between a walk and a jog. Because, you know, I gotta make sure that I don't break myself in two, but also get a good exercise. I don't know if anyone cares because it's not really a big deal, but sometimes when I use like different eyelash glue, my eyelashes fall out, and like right now, they're looking non-existent. That is always the danger of trying new products, is having it not work, and on top of not working, well, it actually works quite well, but it's like frying out my hair from my freaking eyelid. Anyways, so let's curl these baby lashes. Yeah, 3-mile run in the sun. Very good. It's like super windy where I'm at, so that was challenging, but we stay in motion, guys. Nothing sits at rest. Even when we're resting, rest is still, as we know, like, and understand, motion. So yeah, I think I'm gonna put my lashes on first so that way I can look nice and awake. For any of the females and males and whoever out there that cares, I usually just get my lashes from the dollar store because they have some really lengthy ones with much length, which fits my frame very well because I have long eyelids with a lot that needs to be filled. Anyways, I've been reading the Kybalion, And you know, have you guys ever hyped up a book? Have you ever hyped up a book so much in your head, then when you read it, you're like, well, this is not as satisfactory as I was thinking it would be? Because that is what I am coming to the conclusion of. It's just not as satisfactory as I thought it would be. I get like one really good satisfying, 1 to 2, maybe up to 3 satisfying sentences from each chapter, and I'm like, I gave this book a lot of hype for what it's actually worth. I mean, don't get me wrong, those 1 to 2 to 3 sentences per chapter are like worth the filler sentences, I guess, but it's still very unsatisfying, if you will. But yeah. Are your eyebrows green? Do they look green? Because I'm an alien. For costume? Yes, for costume. Can Jesus join? Where's Jesus at? Or like maybe like Ben Franklin? Where are the boys at? Anything interesting going on with you guys? Tell me something I haven't heard before. Yeah, so the Kybalion is quite boring. I'm just trying to get through it because I want to make sure I read the books that I have, like all of them. Some of them I'd like to read twice, if not 3 times. But then other ones are like so not really worth the sit down, you know? Not really worth the sit down. But then I guess I'm stubborn and I'm like, okay, well, I don't want to start something without finishing it, so then I want to finish it. 1 second. What is good? Today's live might not be as exciting, but I'm definitely not super high energy today, you know? But that's okay. That is okay. It's for sure because I went on my run. And putting on eyelashes like this does take a lot of focus, so I apologize. It takes a lot of focus and finesse to make sure you get them on proper. So, bear with me while I pop these bad boys on. You know, I can't wait till we can learn how to manipulate matter more with our minds, so that way I can actually just grow my lashes to the length that I'd like them to grow. By my mental capacities and not by putting on these lashes, because this just takes so much time. And this one cool thing to think about is the more we advance not only our spiritual but technology capabilities, we'll be able to pretty much manifest and materialize whatever we want, whenever we want. And with that obviously comes great responsibility. That's why we have to have That's why we have to be spiritually highly inclined and enlightened to be able to do things like that. And it'll save us so much time. So you can create, if you were like, oh, I really want a Birkin bag, you can create it, boom. So then the value of Birkin goes down because anyone can have a Birkin at any time that they want. Same thing with anyone who likes anything of luxury, whether it be cars, houses. When we start being able to create anything we want, life changes as we know it. But I'm kind of like ranting, so I'm not sure where I was going with that, but it'll be really nice to be able to, you know, travel anywhere within the blink of an eye, make anything within the blink of an eye. If you want to set up anything in the desert, like you're like, oh, I want to live in the desert in the middle of nowhere, you can set that up, no problem. When we start to utilize free energy, 0-point energy, and our spiritual capacities with technology and ethical AI, you can literally do anything you want, whenever you want, however you want, wherever you want. I'm already starting to come alive. What is good? Just trying to focus putting on these lashes. I just kind of messed up. I look like I have a teardrop. I'm just gonna have to like cover that with makeup because it's not coming off. This is not very forgiving product. It is not. What's up with you guys? What is good? What is good? What is good? What is good? I'm just putting on my eyelashes and it takes a lot of concentration. And I'm not doing a very good job because, like, what the heck? You know? I've got a double layer on my lashes. Anyways, what's going on with you guys? Are you a keyboard? 'Cause you my... What? Chopped. Y'all, come on. I'm obviously getting ready, and so this is temporarily chopped. I'm not sure what you're saying because you're not brave enough to finish your sentence, so that's okay. What else is going on, y'all? Talk to me. Thank you for joining my live. It's a very much so relaxed live. What is good, Bobby? Just getting my lashes on for the day. Well, kind of like getting my lashes on for the week because these will stay all week after I put them on. What is good, y'all? Anyways, what should we talk about? There are many things to discuss. Pop a question in the chat if you'd like to ask your mother a question. Oh shoot, forgot to put some of this on. This is the most obnoxious part about being a female, is putting on your lashes. You know? But it must be done. It must. Alright, thank God. We're getting somewhere slowly but surely, y'all. I'm like 3 feet out the grave of a 6-foot grave, you know? We're halfway there. Halfway there. I need more likes. What is this, 1 like? This is so sad. Guys, please heart the screen. Please heart the screen. What's going on with you guys? What's good? Happy Monday. Okay. That'll do. Have a blessed day, Queen. Thank you so much, my queen. A queen recognizes a queen. Yeah, you hear that? Just putting on lashes. Why is my hair looking all crazy? Oh, it's because I still have them in like braids. Still have them in braids. This is quite the process. For anyone who does their lashes, they get and understand what I mean. I double up my lashes. Like right now I have 3 prongs per. And I need to now add in my full strip lash to really fill it out. And so since these are so lengthy, I'm actually going to put this in thirds and cut 1/3 off. And keep the other 2/3. This takes so much focus. My apologies. You know, getting this in thirds is quite a task. Alright guys. This is possibly a super boring live, but you know what? That's okay. Because that means the other lives will be that much more interesting. There we go. Cut 1/3 off. Yeah. Okay, what is good, y'all? Put a question in the chat if you want. Let's chat about something. While I get my eyelashes on. You know? This is gonna look good. Yeah. That's very nice. Lashes and lash glue. What should we discuss? What should we discuss? I really enjoy this new formula of this eyelash glue duo. They came out with a nice, richer formula. It's a little bit more tacky up front. And it's a richer, like deeper black color, which as y'all can tell, I truly appreciate. A nice rich black. It is quite literally a part of my soul. Interwoven. Nice thick layer. Yeah, you see that? Nice juicy layer. Okay. This is like such a process. Now you gotta like freaking let it get slightly more tacky, and then I like to bend it a little bit like this, so that way it can start kind of taking more of the curvature shape of the eyelid to fasten itself more deeply onto the eyelid surface. Okay, well, what should we talk about, y'all? Put a question in the chat. Yeah. I think that's good. You guys, this is probably the most boring and slow paced get ready with me I have ever done. So, happy Monday. And thanks for being here. Happy to discuss anything you guys want to chat about. And a lot of my brain power focus is going towards applying these little lashes. These lashes right now. Right, meow. As this is a very delicate process. that one must use all their brain capacities for precision. Okay. Now again, I'm just cutting these into 2/3 for my eyeball, and the other third will just go into my vault of lashes. However, bending these into thirds is quite tedious. This might be the one. Let's see. Yes. Alright, that's decent. So I just folded this into thirds. So that way I can cut off 1/3. There it is. Alright, hopefully that is going to suffice. We are almost done putting on lashes, and it has taken, how long? Let's see, where's the time on this? 30 minutes to apply. Y'all. That's so funny. 30 minutes just to apply lashes. What is life? How much time do you think I've spent in my whole lifetime either getting lashes done or applying my lashes? Probably too much time. Probably too much time. But the end product always looks great. Okay, any other news, y'all? Oh, well, I guess I can say this. That I've been reading, I love politics for some reason. Like, perhaps that's my next lifetime, is to be a hairy man in politics. A really smart man. Hairy, smart man in politics. I don't know why I keep saying hairy, I just think that's funny. Because hair is kind of gross. Anyways, so yeah, I've been on such a kick lately of watching the congressmen speak. And I just love it. There's something about politics that I just absolutely love. Even though I know it's not going to be forever in our world, it's going to go away. It will go away because, as you guys have seen, politics can't last how it's been. It will eventually go away. Once we understand, and we've got to integrate many things, right? We can't just abolish it right now. But there's something that I still love about it, even though I know it's not forever. And I don't know, it's just fighting for the good of the people and fighting against the bad guys on a public platform, of course, is very enticing to me. So that's kind of what I do, but in the shadows. In the shadows. Anyways, so I've been reading a lot about the government, in some of my encyclopedias. And they show a picture, a table of the government and the hierarchy. Who's at the top of the hierarchy? Well, the people. Now, mind you, this encyclopedia set I have is from 1952, so it's been some time since that was written, but technically at the top of the hierarchy of government is supposed to be the people. But yet we look at our world right now and the people are being completely taken advantage of. The people are supposed to be at the top of the pyramid. And government is a representation of said people group, not to be a job. It's not even supposed to be politics, it's actually not supposed to be a job. It's supposed to be just a representation a temporary thing that people volunteer to do. But we've made it so much more than it was ever supposed to be or intended to be. Which is quite interesting. Yeah, so I do believe I'm potentially going to be a politician of some sort in my next life, unless it's completely obliterated by then. But we'll see. I think it'll be along the lines of not today's current politicians and how things are set up, but along the lines of Solana Symbiotic Abundance Network. That is what I think. That is what I think we're moving towards. I have a sticker on my forehead. Can you guys see it? It keeps me from getting the 11, which is like, I don't know why I think the 11 is so ugly. Like, nothing against it, but on me it just looks so bad when you get the 11 wrinkles right here, and I cannot with that. What do you think is going to happen with the Grand Awakening? Very good question. Very good question. Thank you for asking an amazing question. What I think or what I hope? I'd say what I hope for is that people keep opening their eyes and get into daily meditation practices, because when people do daily meditation practices, they start to up their own frequency, and when you up your own frequency to a higher frequency, which is where truth lies, the truth is a higher frequency, people will be able to tap into what's true and what's not without having to really ask. They'll just feel if something's legitimate or not. So I'm pretty hopeful. I feel like a lot of things are going towards the right direction, slowly but surely, way more than they were, this past decade, and honestly the first half of my life, to be real. Like, I have a lot more hope now within the last 4 months than I've ever had probably in my entire life, with things going in the right direction, whether, not as fast as I'd like. We're still about 100 years behind when you look at how we have our buildings set up, when you look at architecture, when you look at what's on the roads. We should have been going from horse and buggy straight to saucers, like flying in the air, which would have been quite a leap, but that didn't happen, and so we're living in the past, essentially, which is weird. Like, I don't know, it's really weird to think about. But yeah, I'm pretty hopeful. So, I think it's good. Either we keep going in the right direction, or, which I think we will, because we're Homo sapiens, and Homo sapiens are wired for evolution. Even if it's a small amount of evolution at a time, not as quick as we would want, it's still in our DNA to want to evolve, and therefore we will do what we need to do to evolve. What was I gonna say though? Yeah, like, the scales are balancing slowly but surely, so I do have faith. But if we choose to not evolve, Mother Earth will literally shake us off like fleas, like a dog shaking off fleas. Mother Earth will induce actual cataclysmic events, specifically probably with the Ring of Fire, cataclysmic events that would actually release her burdens being us, which we don't want that, and we can stop that from happening by how we show up and how we take care of each other, and in turn Mother Gaia as well, and vice versa, as within so without. But yeah, so yeah, so I've been coming across people doing a lot of shadow work, something I've never heard of before. Yeah, integrating the shadow is extremely important, right? Integrating the shadow. The way to do that, honestly, one of the biggest things I've learned with integrating the shadow is actually to be quiet. I know it sounds maybe counterintuitive or whatever. A lot of people or therapists are like, you need to stand up for yourself or speak on this and that. There's way more power in being quiet at appropriate times. Like, obviously, on my platform, I'm not quiet. I'm speaking my mind on things. But when it comes to daily life, being quiet, letting people think they get the upper hand, because you guys, we all know you don't ever get the upper hand. The pendulum swings where balance needs to be had, right? So anyone that thinks they're vocally getting the upper hand, they're not going to. Long term, and even short term, because that pendulum will swing and it will knock anyone's ego down that needs to be knocked down. So I've just realized it's actually really good to let the universe take care of what it needs to take care of, because it always does. The wheel turns, guys. The wheel turns. And you want to make sure it's turning in your favor. Because, yeah, you just do. But anyways, what a really great question. Yeah, I'm extremely hopeful. I think things are going well, at least as well as they can for now. I'm actually gonna keep my sticker on. Yeah, shadow work. You gotta integrate your shadow. It's not bad to have a shadow. We all have shadow. You can't have light without what? Shadow. So we all have it. It's a matter of understanding how to integrate it properly and utilize the laws of the universe in your favor. Very hermetic principles are to, transmute things into your favor. So, yeah, very, very good question. That was literally such a good question. I'm very impressed with that question compared to probably any other question I've had. Very impressed. Yeah. But yeah, I'd say integrating shadow is honestly also about like not really showing all your cards all the time. And the other thing it's about too is a lot of the stuff that I don't know if he's a doctor, but Robert Greene, like his stuff, integrating the shadow aspect. His books help us actually bridge to the new world. And not showing too much emotion. I think we are emotionally led and driven human beings, right? We have emotions. But learning how to control your emotions is probably the superpower to have. Because emotions in general are our superpower, because that helps us manifest what we want. It helps us create what we want. It helps us evolve into what we want. But yeah, and controlling your emotions is like one of being able to do that is self-mastery. Self-mastery. Because if you can control your emotions, you can control yourself. And when you can control yourself, you can actually control others. And I'm not saying from a place of evil, because if you control someone with evil, guess what? The pendulum will swing, whether in this lifetime or the next, and you will experience exactly what you have given. And if it's evil, you will experience evil. So, if you're controlling yourself to learn how to manipulate and control energy, whether it be material, physical, or someone else. You gotta make sure it's for the best of all humanity, not just for yourself. Why are you always mogging me? Bruh. Did I do that right? That was kind of low. That's kind of manly of me. Bruh. Bruh. Wait, why is that kind of fire? Why are you always mogging me? I am the mog mother. It's so funny, Bobby. Thanks. Appreciate you. That's so funny. Oh, guys. What's going on? We've been talking about many things. You're the homeboy now, bruh. I kind of want that as a ringtone. Maybe I should record myself so we can have a ringtone. Bruh. I'm not sure why I think that's hilarious, but it's pretty funny. Bruh. Wait, I didn't do it. Bruh. I don't know. Now I'm trying too hard. It's gotta really come from the diaphragm. Like, the deep diaphragm down here, you know? Bobby, you missed the boring part where I was putting on my lashes. That was probably the slowest part of the live. Now we're kind of cooking. You know, we're kind of cooking. We're cooking something nice. Something Michelin. Something 12-star. But... yeah. What would it sound like with a mic close up? Alright, let me give this to you. Bruh. Hopefully that was funny because I thought that was pretty funny. Yeah. Let me just put on my eyebrows. What else were we talking about? I feel like we were talking about something really juicy, really fantastic, really amazing, and now I forgot what we were talking about. Before my bruh. My bruh. Wow. If there's one thing about me, my humor has range. You know, I like silly humor as well as witty humor. I don't like innuendos though. I feel like those are just like not even, I don't know. I feel like those are not good or funny. Anywho. Feminine things, y'all, out here with these brows. Masculine things with the bruh. Oh my god, I can't. I seriously need to stop. So what's your core beliefs? Are you Christian? Make sure other stuff. Yeah, my core beliefs. Thank you for asking. Good questions. Man with the questions out here. Solid questions that are actually, like, deep. Queen Mogger. Oh, thank you so much. Yeah, your mother Mogger is on live. Yeah, so as far as my spiritual journey, it's been quite wonderful, quite lovely, quite intense. I started off in the Southern Baptist Church, and yeah, I come from a family that was like more raised Catholic, but yeah, I grew up in the Southern Baptist Church, and I wouldn't change it because it taught me the basic morals of being a good human being. And since I grew up with one parent, having one parent, it's always helpful to be surrounded by families that are together, that are both parents are good, and being able to be around and interact with families that have togetherness, long-term togetherness. So, yeah, and my pastor, I love that man, like, such a brilliant, smart man, so brilliant. So to be able to learn from someone who is so smart, he was originally an engineer and then he got into his pastor career. So I do love that, you know, I was really blessed to be under his spiritual guidance, if you will. But I mean, there are times where my beliefs were too intense and they weren't actually rooted in reality of what reality and how reality actually works, right? So there's a little bit of the control and manipulation that happens from from being, or like the indoctrinated or whatever, brainwashed or whatever. There's a little bit of that happens. And I think no matter where someone starts spiritually, it's such a long journey that you have to just trust yourself to figure it out as you go along, and never, if I were to tell myself something when I first started on my more spiritual journey, I'd probably tell myself to be open to change and not to be so stuck on any one said belief, because your beliefs, while they may ring true in that set time and place, they will not ring true in future set time and places, potentially, right? So to have a little bit more flexibility in beliefs and not to be so rigid. Because now I understand a lot more about how everything actually works, and, you know, the side that we see and the side that's the unseen. So I'd say I'd give myself a little bit more grace. But yeah, my spiritual journey has been quite long, and I think I've actually learned the most about religion and spirituality outside of the church. So going on my own quests with knowledge. But yeah, so I think that's probably what I'd say. Anyways, what about your guys' spiritual journeys? I think that really is my number one piece of advice, is to not be rigid, be fluid. Spirituality is not rigid. Religion should not be rigid. Actually, the only reason we really have set institutions and priests is because priests were the ones that knew how to read and write, and they could read, essentially, back in the day. So the laymen, the like regular folk, the regular people, couldn't read, and so they actually needed the priest to be able to understand spirituality and grow their relationship with God, because they couldn't read. Well, now guess what? Everyone can read. So you don't actually need priests. We don't need priests anymore. But what we do need, we still need spiritual initiators or leaders, but in a different sense. Spiritual initiator and leaders in a sense of, this is, you know, what I've learned along my journey. Take what you want, leave the rest. But you don't need someone to tell you X, Y, Z. You need to learn yourself, think for yourself, read for yourself. And once one does that, once one actually reads books for themselves, which I highly recommend. Even though I grew up with the Bible, I love the Bible. It's my favorite book. I recommend, you know, whatever spiritual literature someone wants to read, because a lot of them say the same things, but in different ways. they're very similar in many aspects. So the most important thing about spirituality and religion is actually to come to your own conclusions. It's the number one thing. Come to your own conclusions, and that is how you'll learn the most and ask for guidance from your own other side of the spectrum, or the, you know, from your own side of the unseen. You need to ask for guidance from them, or from whatever energies are on the other side that are kind of guiding you. Because that is where you'll actually get the most bang for your buck when it comes to like spiritual journey and opening your mindset and understanding the true realities without any biases from external forces and sources. Too often we rely on external forces and sources to tell us what is real, what is not, what is the way of life, what is not. When we have all the answers and we just need to be quiet and go within and listen. What are you talking about? I'm talking about how the sky is blue. What are you talking about? Sky is gray? Anyways, guys, so yeah, what's good? Did anyone say anything else? Oh my god, Ethan, no way. Let's go. What is good, brother? Bruh. I've been saying bruh today. Bruh. You accidentally woke up. Oh, okay, wait, hold on. Welcome, Ethan. Everyone welcome Ethan in the chat, because Ethan is just my guy, my dude. I just started mine. I have narcissistic patterns, so I was supposed to use shadow work as strategy, and I accidentally woke up. Yeah, you know what? I hear you. It's beautiful to understand yourself, because when you understand yourself, you actually can make adjustments, the adjustments that are needed. So if you have narcissistic tendencies, which narcissism is a spectrum, and everyone has some sort of narcissistic tendencies, but if you're on the extreme end of the spectrum, now that's going to be a problem, right? If you're integrating some of your shadow into being a whole human being, that's a different story. But yeah, I'm glad everyone's starting to wake up. Let's go. I'm so glad you're here, Ethan. It's been way too long. What is good? What is good? The first half of my life, I was putting on lashes, so it was kind of boring, so I apologize about that. But when I post this, if you guys want to watch the latter half, you might get some good information. Just, you know, me ranting about things that are important that, you know, are good to consider and know and integrate. But what is good with you? I'm gonna mute that guy because he's annoying. Sky is gray. You're muted until sky is blue. Okay? But yeah. So, freaking miss you guys. You're my bros. Bruh. Anyways, I don't even know what I was talking about. I already forgot. So many things. Oh yeah, spirituality and religion. Yeah, I mean, it's an individual journey, and we've put too much power into external people's hands. It's a very much so individual journey that we embark on together, but we also embark on ourselves separately. Anywhoosies. I miss all my A1s. My A1s since day ones. I feel like I have too much makeup on. Slightly too much. One moment, y'all. Here it is. I'm back. Happy Monday to all my people. What else is happening? I'm almost done with my... Do you ever feel like when you become aware it gets lonely, you see past most people? Yeah, I think, part of awakening or whatever you want to call it, it can seem like a lonely road, but here's the thing, guys, we're never alone. We've never actually been alone, we'll never be alone. Everything is alive. Everything has consciousness to a specific degree. What is consciousness? Consciousness is light. So you're never actually alone, and I think that's part of the journey, is realizing no matter where you are within whatever type of consciousness you are, within whatever lifetime you're in, you're actually never alone, and you're actually always home. Like, the world is your home. Your home is anywhere that you are, because you are part of everything. You are part of the all. And so it's interesting to awaken to that truth, because then you're like, okay, even if perhaps you felt like you've been alone on your journey, you realize, oh, I've never actually been alone. I've always actually been safe. I've always actually been quote unquote home, because I'm consciousness and everything else is all consciousness too. Like we are the all. The all is everything. So, So when you realize that, you're like, wait, you feel much more connected. Like, I've been laying out in the grass a lot these days, because I just realized, I'm like, Mother Earth is literally keeping us alive, because we have nodes in our heart. We have this node, it's called SA, the abbreviation is SA. There's a node in our heart that just pumps the blood in our heart. It's like, okay, what magnetism is telling that node to actually pump out blood? Why is my heart beating? It's not from something internal, it's actually from the external. It's from Mother Gaia. Her magnetism helps our heart pump blood. I'm like, you're so connected. We have no idea. Well, we do, but a lot of people don't understand how connected they are to the earth. And the fact that you're actually living and breathing right now is because of your connection to Mother Gaia, which is like so cool. I love that. I'm like, oh, I don't know. So I've just been laying on Mother Gaia in the grass, just grateful for that fact that she literally is like the other missing piece that keeps our heart and our blood pumping. And that's another reason why, there are many reasons, but that's another reason why we need to take care of the earth, because the earth is actually our lifeline. So, an extension of that, if you think about it, when we actually get out into the stars, which we should have already been for probably 80 plus years, how are we going to sustain life and make biosphere? We got to have like a biosphere while we're out traveling and stuff. So you got to make sure we have a similar electromagnetic pull or pulse. That way our heart nodes stay intact and we don't age like a lot of times, or get radiation poisoning and stuff like a lot of the astronauts that go up there. So we gotta kind of, essentially when we do travel more in the stars, we gotta make sure that we have a similar biosphere created, which is an interesting thought that I'm randomly having. Yeah. Okay, so what are you saying? Let's see. Yeah, so a really good way to think about source is, it's another great question, Mario. I'm really impressed with your questions. Very impressive. Thank you for such good questions. A really great way to understand source, I like the analogy of gold. The gold, a big chunk of gold, has its source, the source honey pot of gold. And then you can fragment gold off. All these little fragments are other pieces of consciousness or pieces of gold. So when you think of source, it's what you're connected to. You're a fragment of source. You are not source, but you are a fragment of source. When you look at your mother or your father, you're like, I am connected to them, but I am not them, right? So both, you got to stand in the paradox of both being true. You are them, but you're also not them. Both are true. So standing in that paradox, same thing with source. Source is true, and you are source, but you're not. You're out here, you're not this, but you are this because you're connected too. So you stand in the paradox and get really comfortable with the paradox, and you'll understand exactly what I'm saying. Another thing you could think about when it comes to source, think about electricity when you have light, because that's what we are. We're literally light bodies. When you have light, you have a different lamp. You have lamps that have light, that you turn on the light, boom, from whatever said lamp. Well, look at all these light fixtures that are available in the world. You've got the strip lights, like this said lamp. Well, look at all these light fixtures that are available in the world. You've got the strip lights, like this. Strip lights like that. You've got regular lights, like that. So, but they all have light. They're just different forms of the external is a different form, but what's projected is the same. Same thing when it comes to extraterrestrials. They are going to look different than, said, us, Mother Gaians from Mother Gaia, Earth people, right? But they're going to, that's just the lamp. The lamp is the exterior. What's inside is the light. And that light is from source. So, same exact concept. I love the concept of the lamp because it just helps you understand. When you look at anything, everything is the lamp with light, and the lamp changes shape, but the light stays the same. So, that's probably my favorite analogy. That's the most useful with source as well. Source energy flowing through you so you can be the light. Excuse me. So yeah, hopefully that helps answer your question there. Yeah. I'm probably gonna hop off soon unless anyone has any other questions. I'm just gonna finalize my hair a little bit. But really, really great question. So thank you for asking that. I really appreciate it. I love a good question. And I'll post this. Well, I always post my lives, so if you guys ever want to play it back or listen to something, oops, you can. I think the first part of my life was kind of dull, but the second half has been a little bit more enjoyable, with more information and stuff. Yeah. One thing I'm not good at yet is hair. Anyways, yeah, so I'll probably try to do this at least once a week, try to go live and get ready once a week. Yeah, essentially, guys, to wrap up, Source is essentially what you are and what everyone is to a different degree. Well, I would say everyone's the same. We're vibrating at different rates, essentially. That's what makes the different forms. That's what makes the different lamp shades, if you will. What is good, Jay? I'm actually about to end the live soon after I finalize my hair. I'm just doing... Anyways, I hope you guys have a fantastic week. And yeah, we'll do this again next week. I'm really bad at French braiding, but for some reason it always works somehow. But yeah, Mother is going to be... Oh wow, we have like a bunch of people in here now. Thank you, appreciate it, welcome. Okay, I'm probably gonna call it a day on this one, and then I'll post this live so you guys can go back. I'll post it today. And then we can hop on again. But Mother is hopping off. Thank you for all the really great questions. Really appreciate that. Mario. Thank you. So I'll see you guys soon. Okay. That'll do. Bruh. For any of the girls out there, one thing I really actually have been loving and always will love is a really good highlighter that's colored. You'll see me wearing that a lot in my videos. Like a colored this one specifically, the Wet n Wild one, I've been loving chameleon. It's giving scales. It's giving dinosaur. Anyways, I guess I'm not gonna end my live just yet because I still have to put my highlighter on. So I'll do that first and then post the live. For me, highlighter really just seals the deal on finishing a makeup look. But everyone needs to know and understand themselves because highlighter doesn't look good on everyone personally, I believe. Sometimes people look sweaty or like wet or whatever with highlighter and it's not a good look. Anyway. You gotta have like a sparkly mustache. Bruh. I feel like my eyebrows are looking kind of sad. What? Bruh. 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 Welcome. We've got some A1s popping in. I'm literally just finalizing my look for the day. Ooh, it is Gucci. I've been saying bruh. I feel like that's just really fitting. Okay, I might have gotten a little crazy on my eyebrows right here. Like that's a little freaking far up. I'm not loving it, you know? It's looking a little scraggly. My contact just popped. Oh, snap. You gotta be careful. You know, you just gotta use your third eye for sight. When you close the eyes, the mind can see. Ethan was in here earlier too, and then we got Mario in here asking really good questions. Actually making the live interesting with his questions. What's good with you? My eyebrows are kind of driving me slightly crazy. I feel like I just put some on and took it off. Bruh. Yeah, the let's see. That's better. About to pick a, oh yeah. Nice. I love that. That sounds delicious and nutritious and yummy. I'm just finalizing this makeup look. I love good weather too. Good weather, good food. Nothing can really beat that combo. That is a good combo. one moment, y'all. Need this little guy right here. Finalize my highlighter. You know, a little bit of this little blind lighter highlighter that makes you go blind with how bright this is. Actually, it's not super bright, but this is really beautiful. It has pink highlighter specs. I love a good pink highlighter. Just ties the whole look. Last night looking at the stars. Yes. Yes. We are technically stars as well. We are. I love that. That sounds really nice and relaxing. Yeah. Oh yeah. Here we go. This is like the final product. Oh my gosh, guys, we're almost at 1,000 hearts. When I first started the live, we were like 30 minutes in and I had 1 heart. I was like, bruh. Bruh. That was so sad. All right, y'all, blind lighter. This is blinding. With a nice pink shadow. So pretty. This is my favorite. I use this in all my, when I do any of my videos, I always have this on. You know? You cannot have too much is the thing. That is the thing. You know? There it is. There it is. Can you guys see that? Putting on makeup is so funny. Like, look at these weird faces I have to do to put on makeup. So bizarre. And the precision you have to have with putting makeup on is ridiculous. Like, it was like I was going into surgery, being a surgeon, trying to put my lashes on this morning. The precision that one must have. It's giving doctorate. And then I like to put it on my lips too. Bling bling. Blang blang. Showered and washed my face. Yep, hell yeah. That's what I'm talking about, brother. You got that 3-in-1? Let's go. Put a little on my lips too. I cannot wait to be a man in my next lifetime. I really can't. I love it. I love man vibes. Same lotion. Yep, facts. You know, the simplicity. What a beautiful thing. Like, you guys, I mean, obviously you guys deal with a lot of other stuff. Like, you might have more simple routines. However, you have very complex things you gotta solve in business and or whatever, workplace, right? So, it's all about balance. But yeah, I love it. I love the one, you know, one and done. You use the same shampoo for your body, your hair, like that's so great. Yeah, facts. But you're gonna be a woman in your next lifetime because we oscillate like an in-breath and then an out-breath. And so, yeah, you're gonna be enjoying your routines in your next lifetime with lotions and potions and all the different fragrances. Like, am I done? Like, do I look put together, y'all? I'm not fishing for a compliment. I feel like I look put together. It's giving Queen Mother. It's giving Queendom. Yeah, this will do. This will do. Period. On God. You've been a bad bee. Facts. You're gonna be a bad bee in your next lifetime. I'm hoping that I get into politics in my next lifetime. Or like, but it's gonna be from a different angle. It's gonna be from the angle of San, my symbiotic abundance network. Because whatever I don't finish in this lifetime, I'm bringing that to my next life, as we all do. But yeah. So I think I'm probably gonna finalize and finish that as a man, and that's gonna be pretty badass. Because me as a man, yeah, the precision is about to be serious. Yeah, I'm about to get shit done. Not that women don't get shit done, but it's like from a different aspect. Like, men don't have 30-day cycles. Women do. And it slows you down. Like, I'm not gonna lie. Being a woman it's more of a slow life. And I don't like it. Well, you gotta have it, but I mean, there's times I like it, but a lot of times I'm like, I wish I was a man getting shit done. And I do have those tendencies. Like, I just have such manly tendencies. I've talked about this before, but yeah, so I mean, this isn't new news. But yeah, I'm built internally for ambition and drive, but externally I'm feminine. So it's a lot to handle. But I love it, but also I don't. Anywho, I'm ready for the system to break open. Which system, bruh? Oh, the system of, yeah. Now I know what you're talking about. Sorry, my bad. I'm back on track. Yeah, like, I want our current system, politics and all that, our current government system, how we have the world set up. The entire world is not proper. It's not proper. And it will crumble. And it has to. And if it doesn't crumble by us changing it, Mother Gaia will shake us off. Facts. So it's like, yeah, I know for a fact I'm coming back in my next life to do some of that reworking and organizing. I'm starting this life probably with starting in this life, bringing that into my next life, the processes, learning a lot about systems and processes in this life, and understanding, okay, what is within our broken system that's clearly broken, what exactly is broken, and how exactly does that get fixed? And then my next life will probably be fixing. Actually fixing, if not this lifetime. But I don't know. As of right now, I'm just like, it's such a big problem that, I mean, one person can't do it alone, right? Like, you gotta have a fleet of a good setup to be able to get a lot of the reorganization done that needs to be done. So, yeah, and I just feel like that will probably be next in my next lifetime, unless I live to be very old in this lifetime, then I probably will get a good amount done. But, hey, 222, let's go. Hey. Bruh. Bruh has been the word today. Yeah. Anywho, so yeah, Mother's gonna sign out right now, and we'll catch you guys either later in the week or next week. But enjoy your most beautiful day and beautiful week in Arizona, and delicious yum-yums with your mommy. Sounds delish. Well, I'll talk to you soon. Thank you so much, you guys. I love y'all. Miss you already. I'm crying.